Hello guys, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Today we are gonna interpret theory of communism given by Plato. In theory of communism, Plato says that if education is the theory of education is primary medium to achieve ideal state, then communism is secondary mean to achieve ideal state. By theory of education, we got to know about the qualities which are in dominant in man. But through communism, we provide additional safeguard, additional safeguard, safeguard on philosopher king. Theory, communism is only for guardian class, which include philosopher king and soldier class. They do not include producer class because they think that as they have the appetite in dominance, it's not possible for them to be in communism, and it is also not feasible to impose communism on them because they do not have power. Communism abolishes family and private property. Now look into the communism abolishes family and private property. According to Plato, family promotes nepotism and property promotes corruption. So for property he suggested common ownership and common use means that there is one property whose owners are all, and it can also be used by all the citizens. We'll look into the detail while in criticism of it. And nepotism. Nepotism, if there is your son, then to get them good life, you will do corruption. So they do not. They suggest that there should be no such thing. Why philosopher king go corrupt? As he has reason in dominance. As the Plato suggests that if philosopher king is having reason in dominance, why they're gonna corrupt? As it is because of that Plato is perfectionist. So he suggested the theory of communism. Theory of communism because in a human being, in a human being, there are all three elements, but in philosopher king reason in dominance. But after coming to power, it can be it can be appetite can be dominant. So to get safeguard he suggested communism. Communism of family. In communism of family, he says it includes communism of marriage and wives and children. It means for marriage, the state will decide who will marry who will marry whom, and when they will marry. As this says that it is they will only meet. The state will decide who will marry whom. Means that the ablest man and woman will marry with each other to produce ablest child. After producing a child, they their will dissolve. Marriage will dissolve, and child will be taken care by state. Will be will be taken care by state. By this by this ruler class cannot know who is their child, and they do cannot do nepotism. Criticism. Aristotle has given his criticism of Plato's theory of communism. Aristotle is regarded as the greatest disciple and critic of Plato. He says family is emotional is important for emotional stability. For emotional stability, family is a time-tested institution. So there is likely be less probability that the family is gonna be the a hurdle between it. And his communism of wives will take us back to barbaric age, where there is no sense. Communism of property. Communism of property means common ownership and common use. Plato says guardian class should not possess should not possess any property, as it can lead to corruption, Aristotle criticized it by saying property act as a motivation to people. It it is for status. If someone does doesn't have any property, why they will work hard? By sidelining its positive aspect is not good for society. Aristotle says property earned by just is good, means which are earned by your own personal labor and money. It is just, and it should be kept. Unjust property should be avoided. According to him, individual ownership and common use is best form of property because you have earned the property from state, from society, and you need to give some back to society, give something back to society. He says common ownership and common use property is not responsibility of any owner. It should be avoided. That's all for today. So bye.